Hey everyone, I'm really excited to share with you, drumroll please, my Dusty Summer, Dusty Hazy Summer palette. I hope you like it. This was really fun, and actually it was kind of an easier process than I thought. You can go back and see what I curated for my spring palette, and I definitely added a lot more colors, but I'm okay with that. First of all, because they all fit so nicely in my palette, which makes me so happy, and there is still some room for more paints. I probably get like three more in here, and I'll try and remove, I don't know, I have some leftover, a couple of paints that are in this. That's always my issue with these, that I added colors that I wasn't completely in love with, and now I'm kind of stuck with them. We'll see how that works. I can remove them, I guess, if I really wanted to, with like scrape them with a knife or something. So the idea that I had for this palette is I am really enjoying using my really cheap, well, they're not cheap, but they're very affordable Arteza gouache that I have here. It's not all of them. I have the 60 tube set, and I just created this palette in an Prima watercolor pencil tin out of my favorite colors of the 60. But the thing is that I have decided that I'm a real artist and I want to make sure that my paintings are done with like artist grade watercolors that, you know, have light fast ratings and kind of the standard, let's say, for artists. Now I love these, don't get me wrong, I love these, but I think if really I have any intention of selling artwork, which, you know, besides in my dreams, I really should stick with the major brands. So what's the connection? The connection is that I have been loving using the more opaque paints, which is kind of a new direction to me, but it's not just opaque, it's having those like creamy, pale kind of colors that I feel, I don't know if I can show you an example of what I mean, but I feel like sometimes even if I really water down my transparent watercolor paints, I know I can get a light color, but it doesn't have that, that like somewhat of a white opacity to it. And this is why I kind of took out all of my watercolors that are more opaque, and I'll tell you exactly what's in the palette in a bit. But this is where I'm kind of going with this palette, and this is probably like the part that I'm most excited about it, like adding those creamy, dusty, dirty colors, which then allow me to kind of yeah, I don't know, just create. I've been painting in a more free way, doing loose florals and abstracts, and I really feel, just something I grabbed, but I really feel like this kind of color here, for example, is something that I need a little bit of that opacity to get the right look that I'm after. And it also kind of, I don't know, it just looks a bit different. It has a bit more of like that chalky look to it, I feel, that I'm really enjoying. So I know if you've watched me over the years, you probably know that this is a little bit of a different direction for me, but I feel like I am letting go of a lot of things that I kind of held on to, because a lot of the kind of watercolor purists you know, there's a lot of talk about like transparent watercolors and pure watercolors and single pigments and all those things. And a lot of it is true and a lot of it is helpful. But at the end of the day, I have to go with what I love and what I want and the look that I'm after and, you know, how to get there. And I don't like using acrylics. I don't like using oils. Well, I haven't tried using oils, but I love using watercolors. The ease of use, the way that they, you know, you can clean it up, and it's just, it speaks to me. And also, of course, the way they behave and mix and granulate, it's magic. So I don't want to change the medium, although I really am considering I might add some of my gouache paints. I have a really nice set of the Holbein gouache, and yeah, and also a lot of the Winsor & Newton ones. So I might go into that, I don't know. But for now, I just kind of grabbed all these colors that really spoke to me, and I created my Dusty Hazy Summer palette. Let's get started. I have here the swatches. Hopefully I can show you everything. I will list everything below, so don't worry if you miss on anything. This is a lot of watercolor talk, so grab a cup of coffee or something, because it's gonna be a long one. There's a lot of paints here, but as I saw how things worked with my spring palette, I felt really confident that I can switch things out as I go. And yeah, if I feel like I miss on anything or something is really redundant and just taking up space, I can just move it. So let's start with the real, I think we can all take a moment and look at some of the earth tones that I have here. I know, earth tones. I'm into it. Shocking. So Naples Yellow, the Schmincke one, still here. It's this one, love it. This one, I would totally remove it if I could. I don't know what I would put in it. It's the Lemon Yellow. It's leftovers from the previous palette. It doesn't work with my hazy, crazy summer palette, but there it is. I need to, maybe I can remove it. This is my Nickel Azo Yellow. I love this color, and this is kind of my primary yellow, which I love and just gives me a lot of mixing options. So here I have Buff Titanium, which I really adore for mixing, like creating all of these just more creamy, muted semi-neutrals. Really love that. Next to it, I have something kind of similar, which I think it's this one. Really lovely. This is the Sennelier, not the Sennelier, this is Warm Gray by Sennelier. It has a gazillion pigments in it. There you go, this one, 705, and I just really love it. It's very similar to the Buff Titanium, but I really thought I'll throw a bunch of these in and see which one I like the most. Then here is a color that I mixed myself, and I mentioned it in my secret favorite mixes. So this is a mixture of Naples Yellow and Cobalt Violet, two colors that I adore and use constantly. And I thought it would be interesting to see how, you know, just to create my own custom mix, and let's decide together. I love it. Yeah, I'm not even saying, like, maybe I could use a little bit more Cobalt Violet, but I love it. It has the Naples Yellow color with the Cobalt Violet granulation, and it just creates a beautiful effect. So I had this in another palette. I thought, why not add it to this one? And then with the grays here, I have the Gray Titanium, a relatively new color from Daniel Smith. I thought it would be perfect for my dusty summer. And then next to it, a color called Sennelier Gray. It's this color here. It has a little bit of the Naples Yellow, but it's a really interesting kind of very dusty gray. There it is, 709. It has 3 pigments in it. And yeah, I've had it for years and years, and I thought this palette would be a perfect, you know, opportunity to get some use out of it. So next to it I have two colors from Van Gogh. This is the Van Gogh Yellow Ochre, and I have to say I like this yellow ochre. What I like about it, I have some other yellow ochres that once they're in my palette, they are so anemic that it just drives me crazy. I'm like, you're not doing anything. So the Van Gogh formula is really, really good, and they have some great colors. So this is their yellow ochre, and next to it there's the, what do they call it? The Naples Yellow Red, which has two pigment, yellow and, there you go, you can read for yourself, hopefully, if this focused. The Naples Yellow Red. Schmincke has a beautiful version of this color. It's probably, I have somewhere a pan, I could go hunt for it. Maybe if I see that I use it a lot, maybe I'll bring out the Schmincke one. But this one is also a fun color. And again, I think it would just be really beautiful for all these mixes that I'm enjoying now, like these dusty pinks and peaches and corals. Really, really loving that. Next to it, I have here, I switched out, I had Go Tight from Daniel Smith in my palette, and I decided I wanted to switch it with the Lunar Earth, which is here. Like all the Lunar colors, this is an insanely granulating color. I don't use it pure, I use it in mixtures, and it's beautiful in mixtures, so I thought it would go really well with my color scheme here. And just, I'm kind of staying in the earth tones before we move on to the pinks. I have here, okay, this is kind of pink. This is the Schmincke Potter's Pink. I had here the Winsor & Newton one, and that color is, it gets hard in the tube, and then it takes forever to re-wet it, and it's still quite anemic. And I have this one pan from Schmincke, and it's just a world of difference. This is it. It's very easy to reactivate it. I think it's a beautiful color, and I hope I will finally get some use out of it. Next to it, Hematite Violet. Okay, Hematite Violet. There are a couple of colors from the Hematite that are similar. This is the Hematite Violet. It's beautiful. It's such a beautiful, this is like my kind of earthy colors. It has this beautiful, very muted purplish brown tone to it, and then it has a lot of granulation. It doesn't do it justice, this tiny dot, but it's lovely. And then next to it, a little bit sad looking, transparent brown oxide. And again, this is like super granulating. I don't have strong emotions either way about this one. I think this was the swatch. Yeah, I don't know. I just saw it. I thought I would give it a go. I think it'll work with what I'm going for. So we'll see. I've had that tube for a long, long time. It's time to get some good use out of it. It's a small tube from their Earth Color set, from the core set. So yeah, it's, I just love the granulation. I mean, it's still wet, but so pretty. It's kind of, it's really, really similar, I guess, to the Lunar Earth. Anyway, okay, so let's move on to some coral colors. I wanted to add, I still need some brights, because bright colors, you know, very saturated colors give you a lot of versatility when it comes to just, you know, mixing them and creating other colors. I have here the, I think this one is the quinacridone red from Sennelier, which is a really similar color to the Daniel Smith quinacridone coral that I love. Yeah, I think it's their quinacridone red. It's beautiful. There it is here. And then next to it is the Shinhan Pass Bright Red, which I love. This is a fluorescent color, and I love it. And then here, this is a really beautiful, this was a color that I kind of didn't want to include because I know that probably no one can use it. But yeah, I have it, so I really want to use it. And this is called Coral Red, or Rouge Coral, Coral Red. And this is like a special paint that you could only find in a small shop in Tokyo. So I'm really, really sorry I think you could mix something similar from, you know, probably like the bright red or the coral with a little bit of the Naples yellow reddish. I have it, I want to use it, so that's why it's here. It's this color, and you can see it's like this really beautiful kind of a salmon color. Okay, as for the pinks, I left them the same as before because they're in these wells and it's just easier. I have Holbein Bright Rose, I have Daniel Smith Opera Pink, which I'm loving in mixtures. It really gives that pop, you know, that fluorescent color. And then a new love, the M. Graham Ultramarine Pink, which I love. It's kind of the muted, oh good, got my thumb right into that paint. It's the muted friend of my beloved Cobalt Violet. I think it's here. The Ultramarine Pink, I want to say. And then I added some Daniel Smith Quinacridone Rose, which I did feel like I use a lot of pink and I'm really particular about different kinds of pinks, and I really felt like I was missing something that was a little bit more on the, a little bit more yellow and not so fuchsia like the Bright Rose. So these are my main pinks. That's the Daniel Smith one, the M. Graham, and the Quinacridone Rose. Purples, I love purples. A color I almost took out, and then I thought, I don't know, I'll give it another chance because it is opaque and maybe it'll serve me better in this palette than the spring one, is the Daniel Smith Wisteria. It's here, and it's just at the end of the day, I always go for the Cobalt Violet just because it's, I feel like, a cleaner color. It's more transparent and it doesn't muddy up the mixtures as much as the Wisteria. I like them both, but I just keep using the Cobalt one. And then here I have the M. Graham Cobalt Violet, which is more blue, you can see, than the Winsor & Newton one. I love Cobalt Violet. I didn't use this a ton, but yeah, I thought I would keep it for now and see if I can get some more use out of it. So the last colors that I have here, I kind of made these two swatch cards. These are kind of the warm reddish colors, and then these are like the blues. This is Dusk Pink, which I love, and it's going to remain with us. And then this one is, I think it's the Dusk Violet, which kind of gives me Moonglow vibes. This is Moonglow. This is what I have in this palette. I'll try to get through it and then decide if I want to refill it. And then here I have the Imperial Purple, which I don't know, I just haven't gotten a lot of use out of it. And it's in this really big well, which kind of annoys me. Let's move on to the blues. I have Verditer Blue, Cobalt Blue, and Ultramarine Blue, and then I added the Chromium Blue from Daniel Smith from their Ultimate Mixing set. I want to say it's this one here. It's a little bit more muted and granulating, so I thought it would be perfect for the summer days. And then here I have this color. Where are you? I think this is Horizon Blue from Holbein, I want to say. And you can see it has some white in it. It's quite an opaque color, but it's really pretty. And I haven't used it, so I thought this would be a good opportunity to see what it can do for me. Those are my blues. Now turquoises, of course, Cobalt Teal I have here. I stayed with it. I love that color. I kept also the Cobalt Turquoise. This one is from Sennelier and it's beautiful. It's this one here, and then the Cobalt Teal. You can see it's a little bit brighter. I have still this one from Schmincke. I put it in the spring palette, hoping to fall back in love with it, but I can't say that I have. It's, yeah, it's nice, but I just end up using the Cobalt Teal more at the end of the day. Okay, I also left the Emerald, Sennelier Emerald color here, this minty color, thought it would work nice in this. I added some greens. Can you believe it? So I still have the Perline green from before. It's this one here and like this dark green. I haven't used it a lot. I don't know that I need it, but it's here. There's a lot of it. I'll have to get through it or scrape it out. And then this one, I'm like falling in love with this color for some reason. This is Undersea Green. I have it here. And then this one is Green Appetite, I want to say, or is it the Serpentine? I don't know, one of them. Check the description below to find out. And then this one is one from Van Gogh. It's their Azo Green Yellow, and it's like a really nice kind of green gold. So I'm happy to have it in my palette. I have this pan, so I should use it. And then this, what are you? Are you the, I think you are the core neutral tint, which I have to say now, looking at it in this like constellation, I'm not hating it as much as I did. Someone wrote me that it really had this like really nice separation and granulation. I don't know, let's see. But hopefully I can use it for my hazy, dusty summer. Yeah, it does have a nice granulation. Thank you to whoever made that comment. Okay, and the darks here that I have not already mentioned are, what do I have here? I added this graphite color. It's really interesting. It's, well, I don't think it's like so interesting. I think several brands have it, but it's basically like a pencil, only in watercolor form. And you can see it here. It also has that shine, which I'm not sure I like and I'm not sure I need. So I don't know how long this will last in my palette. I think it's fun because you can make kind of, you know, lines that look like pencil. So I think that's interesting. But then again, I just really like to sketch with a pencil. So I don't know if I need that, but I have it. So I thought I would try it as one should. The next to it I have Indanthrone Blue, which is just like beautiful inky blue. I love that color. And then my beloved Schmincke Indigo. It's still here. I love it. And what are you? Oh, this is the Alvaro Caliente Gray, which I bought a tube when it came out and have barely used it. And I thought I should give it a go and see how I like it. So that's it. I'm all talked out. I haven't yet painted a lot with this palette, but now it's, you know, it's my current working palette. So we'll see how it goes. The spring palette was a huge success. Please don't feel like you need any of these colors. If you want to create something similar, check and see what you have on hand and just, you know, use it as inspiration and not a shopping list. I know that, you know, some of you have a large collection like mine, but a lot of you don't, and I don't want you to feel, you know, like you have to have these things. The fun thing for me is to try out colors that have been neglected in my collection and just kind of switch things around and come up with fresh color schemes that are inspiring to me, and really maybe like fall in love with some colors that I haven't really gotten to know for like whatever reason. So this is a good opportunity to do that. And yeah, I will keep you updated in a few months to see and conclude if this was a hit or a miss and which colors were a success. So thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.